Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Conrad, and this is Shannon.
Hey, buddy. Buddy.
And test.
Levels and make sure everything's working. Location.
Where are you guys going? Idaho Falls? Nice.
Dude.
Hey, everybody. Do you want to party? Do you want to party? See, it does sound better. I mean, if you get into it, sounds better. But sounds fine back here, too.
The hell did I tell her? 6. So that's Tuesday. Okay. Yeah, there's somebody from Broken Arrow. I don't know where she's at. So as long as I get her email, that'll go on Tuesday. And I'm starting on next week again. All right. Hopefully I'm done. This thing will probably go off, but I'll turn it down. Media, turn it down. Media.
So I think we're recording there. I don't know. We'll try it this way, dude. It's relaxed, you know. No microphones.
I don't even know if we need headphones.
We don't need headphones. We don't need anything.
We'll just sit back and just do it, Let's do it, dude. See how it goes, What's the worst that can happen?
It's just weird.
It's just weird. It's just like a
I mean, it's gonna sound like we're talking
a Saturday chat.
to the room, which we are, but
Hi,
it's different
good to
with
see you.
holding a microphone. So, welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Conrad. This is Shannon.
Hi, hello.
And we have no microphones
No,
today.
we don't care about microphones now.
So
we're micless.
We should get those lapel ones.
We've done
Dave lapel.
We've gone wireless.
Yeah, we don't know how it's going to sound. We know it sounded worse with microphones
for
somehow.
sure.
So
I mean, it reminds me of Eddie Van Halen, RIP, that he wouldn't use wireless for the longest time because when technology first came out for wireless, a lot of musicians, a lot of people, they used it and they threw it across the stage, into the trash because it was horrible. And so that kind of broke their back because they looked forward to it because, as a musician or even someone that's given a presentation like, I don't know, any kind of presentation, when you go wireless, you look forward to that. It's freedom. You can move around. You can talk with your hands.
And I don't love it. I like this seems like there's no protection from the elements.
It just absolutely broke everybody's heart when that technology was crap. It ran off of AA batteries or 9 volts, which they were expensive back then. Now you can't find them. It's like gas. You can't.
Yeah.
There's none in this town.
No, but 70% of Americans say that recession is inevitable.
Right. And 80% of that are already feeling the effects of the non-recession now.
90% of that failed.
Right.
In their first year in business.
First week of business.
I don't know. So anyways, we have the old setup that we use with the OK Taco show.
It's over here.
And we've been using it in the old computer, which it still sounds okay.
Sounds great.
But we're working on how we're going to set up the new one and the new stuff, especially with all the interviews that we have booked and lined up.
We are so frustrated at where the technology's gone because if this is going to sound great,
then made a lot of we've spent a lot of time learning something that doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't matter anymore.
And that's irritating. And I think that there's still a
spend $3,000 on a computer, turn it on. Guess what? Bing bong.
Yeah.
You're in business.
Right. Guys, we put mics in the computers now, not just crappy ones, because everybody talks.
They fix themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm showing my age, going back there, they threw them away, and then they just stayed with wired mics and wired guitars and wired, everything, and it sounded awesome. But now I guess someone got mad and fixed the technology.
It wasn't Steve Jobs, it was his predecessor,
Yep,
dude, Timmy Cook.
Steve was way too thin.
Yeah, Steve's microphone's blue. Remember?
Oh yeah,
old computers,
horrible. Old computers, you couldn't hear them. And then if you did anything in your life, if you were a plumber, you got some grease, or if you mowed, you got grass stuck in the microphone, or the speakers are everywhere, and it wouldn't work.
So I don't know, but
either way, you can't hear it, and you couldn't talk.
Yeah. Well, another thing I can do to really back this up is we'll record it in 2 places. That's smart.
That's nice.
So get this thing deleted.
Looking good. Oh yeah.
And we'll hit that.
That's
so
easy. Look, boom. Look at those peaks.
Yeah, now we don't have to. At least
we're building peaks.
At least we have audio now, bud. I don't know.
Are we doing sunglasses today?
I did sunglasses just to see what it looked. Kind of looked like Elvis.
I'll do sunglasses.
You don't have to.
No, I'll do it with you. I brought them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that looks great.
That's better.
That cuts down on the light,
on the glare.
Yeah,
the eye glare. Well, speaking of eyes, dude, I went to bed pretty early last night, like 9:30.
Did you do your Rubik's Cube?
Worked on my Rubik's Cube throughout dinner and most of the evening. I got a couple sides matching, but
then you got frustrated because
I get frustrated. It's just like you got to take a break from the math. A lot of times people will continue to press through. You've seen the movie Good Will Hunting.
Sure.
That kid would end up staying in that auditorium working on all those cheat codes for the government.
Yeah.
And he was figuring stuff out, but guess what? He went crazy, bud.
He went nuts, much like Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, you go nuts and you start playing chess on the ceiling and stuff.
Have you tried drugs?
No, I did not do the drugs.
Enhancement math drugs.
I need some, and
probably be a good idea.
When I went to bed, I think I dreamed. But I don't remember the dream. All I know is when I woke up, I had eye sweats. You ever had eye sweats?
For sure.
I didn't have the boogers in my eyes, and I didn't have the gunk.
Usually after eating something
but
hot.
I just had, like, both of my eyeballs had sweated around the raccoon style.
That's probably COVID.
So they were just wet around here.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. But it didn't feel like I got any sleep, even though I got a lot of sleep. It's one of those kinds of things. And it could be carbon monoxide. We haven't put a freaking test in there.
Oh, yeah.
Which is stupid because, that's a silent killer.
Well, I know I've been dealing. I told you I opened up the bottom of my house to fix my gas because, as you might remember, if you listened to the last show.
Yeah.
If you heard any of it.
And if you did, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that. I got a gas leak. And so I opened the bottom door to get under the house, and there's nothing but water and
people need to remember that you I think at this point you owe me an apology.
What?
I think at this point you owe me, because a year ago, and maybe a little longer, probably a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I was sleeping almost nightly at Random Dude Ranch.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah.
Come on out.
Come and sleep in my ranch. And I was sleeping there, dude. And we would eat pizza every night.
That was awesome.
It was.
It was a good time.
And watch documentaries every night.
I have a Rubik's Cube. You could have told me, hey, do you have a Rubik's Cube? I want to work it.
That was before I was ready for it.
Right.
But I laid down on the cot, the military cot in the office every night.
You're right. You're welcome.
With whatever dog wanted to sleep with me. And
we've doubled the dogs by now. We've doubled the dogs.
You've doubled up on dogs, bud. But there was a morning or a couple of mornings where I'd wake up and I'd say, Shannon, Becky, look, I've been eaten by spiders in your house. And you would say, oh, those aren't spider bites.
That's not spider bites.
Those aren't spider bites. And then I'd have, pieces of the skin falling off. And in fact, it looked like, I seen a commercial for it today. Apparently freaking plaque psoriasis is on.
That's a big thing.
It's
That's huge.
people are getting
They're getting plaques.
freaking plaque
Yeah.
psoriasis, dude.
It's not just for your teeth anymore. You can get plaque all over, bud.
And
Plaque buildup.
there was this commercial. I gotta cut the commercial because it has its own original song about dealing with plaque psoriasis.
Love it.
And it's not like a jingle.
No.
It's like a dramatic plaque psoriasis song.
I've got plaque psoriasis and I'm gonna go to work.
It was a hilarious commercial. And it's got this gentleman who is playing cornhole with a beautiful sundressed wearing young lady.
Yeah.
But there's sexual tension, much like Folgers.
Sure.
And I don't know if it's his daughter
or sister
or a potential lover
or a potential mate.
And he gets done playing cornhole, dude. And because he played out in the heat, they didn't tell me what the temperature was.
Oh, right.
He pops off his shirt, no plaque psoriasis.
Oh, dude.
And runs to the ocean.
And guess what happened that night? He got a date.
He did, dude.
He got a date to play more.
And he probably
cornhole.
didn't get bit by a spider. And that's what I did.
Yeah,
multiple times at your house, and you're like, "Oh no,
I don't think it was that. It was something bit you.
What'd you see under the?
It was probably a rat
under the house, bud.
You know, or a raccoon or something. Under my house, because I had to get under there to fix the gas leak because the gas is off, so no hot water. And we, just yesterday, so we had to take an outdoor shower, which has its own gas setup, which was actually very nice. It still holds up after all these years of building it out there. I opened up the door and it's nothing but spiders.
Yeah.
And it was a black widow kind, both male and female of black widows. Most people just see the black and the red hourglass, but the males, they're just all like a glossy brown color. They don't have that cool, timepiece
right
on their
birthmark
on their haunches. They don't have the birthmark.
Yeah.
So both males and females and lots of babies covered my underneath of my house. Now, here's the deal. They've made an agreement with me. This is our domain. You live up there, we'll stay down here. And that is great.
Oh, it's like that movie Stranger Things. Because it's like the underneath world. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know anything about Stranger Things because I refuse to watch it because it's so popular.
Well, I watched episode 1.
Yeah. And it was horrible. And
I haven't watched it since. But
yeah,
that woman in there who was a kid is now a woman. So I might watch the new one. She's 18 now.
She look good now or something? I don't know. There's lots of conversation about that because of Metallica and all the other
would I
stuff.
Crawl out from Spiderville and hit her with a hatchet and drag her underneath? Yeah,
sure,
I would.
Sure. But that wasn't the only problem, Conrad. What there is,
that's not the. That's the biggest problem, though, and that's the apology problem.
No, well,
you can't.
I can't say.
Let me sleep in a den of spiders.
But
get attacked by spiders.
If I put you downstairs and you got bit, then I apologize.
Throw
I kept
a freaking spider
upstairs.
bomb down there, dude. Now is the time. Throw a spider bomb. Close up
everything.
All the vents that you opened. While it's wet and mushy, all that chemical will mix in to the spider nest.
I probably need to. I had to take down several webs and shoo away several black widows to the side to get to the pipe that I had to replace for the gas. And God bless me. I did without getting bit. I don't know. It makes you itch.
Yeah.
And on my way back, I spotted the problem why there's some water underneath there in the last maybe week or two or month.
No, it could be.
Because I know that because there's not too much water.
Okay.
I mean, it's not,
right.
There is a pool, but there is not, the whole thing is not full. At some point, my drain from my kitchen drain, from my kitchen sink, has come out of the main, the main pipe that goes out to the street. So I have to replace the pipe so it doesn't leak and create a pool of sink water under the sink luckily for me, where I've put the hole in my floor is real close. So I won't have to go through too many I will have to go through less spiders correcting that problem than I did crawling back probably about, I don't know, 30 feet ish crawling, because my space, I can't believe I got down there. I'm a bigger, I'm a man of larger stature.
You're narrow on the, got a narrow head.
No, bud,
shoulders.
I tell you what, it was, and not spooky really because of spiders. It was spooky. And I'm not claustrophobic. Claustrophobic? Claustrophobic. No. I'm not afraid of tight spaces.
Yeah.
Actually, I prefer them. But in most cases, when I got down there and was crawling to find a pipe. Now, at one point, I had my wife turn it on.
Yeah.
Well, that was a mistake, because I found that break real quick. And so now
well, how big was
and guess what? Spiders didn't like it. Spiders didn't like
the gas.
So they were trying to find any way out of the gas. And the quickest way to get away from the gas was just
up into the house
over me.
Okay.
To get to the other side. It's fixed. Now today I gotta fix that little break in the
water.
That gray water break under my house. So if that gets done, and hey, good news, 50 pounds, at least 50 pounds more of gas. And now we're not leaking. Quadruple checked, and we got hot water again, which that's always a plus. And we don't use it. We're empty nesters, so we don't really use that much gas. But I like to say empty nest a lot because it's just really cool to say, and that's what people say, I guess. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Now you're right about the spider bomb. If anybody knows, about a good spider bomb, let me know. Like something fogger or
you would want to. You want to buy like a 4-pack of fogs.
Well, I was thinking about spraying the outside. It would take 1 can. I live in a very small house.
That'll pinch them in.
If I bomb them down there, they're going to get away from it, and they're all going to be upstairs.
You gotta,
and so you're going to have to come help me.
You got to
smash them. You got to come upstairs. You got to bring your shoes.
It's going to take some plastic sheeting. We put plastic sheeting
on the floor.
Okay. Duct tape.
Everything.
Can't be anything.
So they can't get in.
And then throw the spider bombs. Let them come up. We should be. And then we smush the plastic. Get the thick stuff.
We'll be there with the shoes.
Don't get that thin plastic. You're gonna have to get like a 5 mil or thicker.
35 mil. Yeah.
And you should be able to feel them.
That sounds great. Yeah. Oh yeah. The plastic will start moving. That's how you know that's where you hit. So that's my problem. I'm sticking with it. I had a wonderful last 2 days where I literally sent 4 messages out to small business sites on the faceplant books, and I didn't think that I was going to get too much traction. I was wrong, and so everybody wants to come on the show, which is great. So if Chris and Steve want to make up a business and also get an interview, that'd be great. If you guys got Zoom, if you got an extra hour of the day.
Well, they got Zoom. They know how to work it better than I do, I'm sure.
And so I filled it out. I'll show you. I don't know if you can see this. So that's
next week.
Bad penmanship, but next week is completely full, and we're bleeding into the last week of July. So pretty excited about that, but not really. I mean, I think it's going to go great.
It should. It's just, it will be different. We'll have to see how it goes.
Super different.
Yeah.
I'd rather talk to you about spiders and how crappy,
and maybe I'll
my life
order
could be,
a different kind of thing to hook up to the computer. I don't know.
We'll see.
Have to figure it out. It's like, do I order a cable? It's the same thing. A cable is more expensive than buying a whole new
computer
way to plug in
our
mics to the computer.
This is
more informal.
This is harder than your Rubik's Cube, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't messed with the Rubik's Cube since Stranger Things came out.
Well, the Rubik's Cube is just to keep your brain. I'm a fidgeter anyways by nature.
You do like those spinners.
Yeah. So
anything
I will
spins or turns, you are fascinated by.
And I've watched some of our replays of our videos, and I sit there and fidget like some sort of autistic person the whole time. You know what I mean?
It's not a bad thing.
I sit there and
I talk with my hands a lot.
I flick things around. I'm doing stuff as everybody's talking, So something's up with it. I got to go to a doctor or find a brain doctor or something.
No, you just got to you got to get a holster and have multiple Rubik's Cubes.
dude.
You know, I just pull one out and like, oh, I kind of remember where I was at on this one and just get going.
Well, I can get one side and maybe half of another side. I don't know. I might have to read a book about it or something. I don't want to watch a video.
It's technology. It is. It's just
there's
technology.
a pattern. I get it, but I've pretty much mastered. I can do one side pretty easy, and then but I screw it all up again doing another side. So I got to figure out what you got to start with in order to then start clicking your patterns.
Yeah, I don't
You know
want to
what I
give
mean?
you any hints because
No, but you're an 80s kid, dude.
I am.
You know Rubik's because that was
I
the
do.
only technology you guys had.
Your mistake is trying to solve one side. That's the mistake.
Well, I'm just getting the
you have
hang
to,
of
You
it.
have to solve it all together. It just all of a sudden melts
Yeah,
and then it's fixed.
I'll get it.
It's almost like magic.
And if I get it, dude, I don't know what you get. Because I think, what is it in war? If you get shot, it's Purple Heart. Like if you get shot and live. And I think you might have to save one
You
stranger.
have to get shot while saving
a civilian.
any other kind of person.
Yeah, even an enemy.
Even the enemy. If you save someone,
if you save an enemy
and are shot and live,
yes, Purple Heart.
like if you jumped on a hand grenade,
right,
and it went off, but you survived, and there was people around that could have gotten hurt, Purple Heart.
It's a Purple Heart.
Yeah.
And then a Medal of Honor, which is a great game, is also a medal you'll get for. It's basically the same thing as Purple Heart, but an extreme version. Maybe jumping on the grenade would have been Medal of Honor. You know what I mean? That could have been.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Now I think Purple Heart trumps everything.
But I think Rubik's Cube there's some sort of certificate.
That's a Medal of Valor.
An act of valor, yeah.
It's an act of valor, and I don't know what valor means. I mean, as far as like what the people's changed definitions so
recently,
and I don't know if me saying the word valor is offensive to anybody. If it is, I apologize. But I think that's still true. If you do a Rubik's Cube, I think you get a medal.
You get a
medal of maybe valor, whatever that is.
Now,
or maybe a medal of code breaking.
I think that
it could be code breaking because back that great movie, The Air Talkers.
Wind Talkers?
Clint
Eastwood.
The Wind Talkers.
I've watched it.
And that's about basically breaking codes and stuff like that, that's what basically a Rubik's Cube is. It's its own language and you got to break the code.
It is its own language, but I think that there's
probably a code breaker medal.
Well, don't you think that people were talking about aliens and them existing?
Who was? Tell me who was talking about
yesterday, NASA
aliens.
released their stupid Webb telescope.
We're talking about NASA again?
Pictures.
That's old news, dude. I don't want to hear about NASA.
No, it's boring news, but
if you're walking around with a NASA t-shirt, stop it. Get help. I mean, get with the times. It's like this computer.
Right.
Like,
I get it. It's old school technology.
It's old school.
I know.
Elon has fixed everything.
Made styrofoam rockets and everything.
Jeez.
My point is that for whatever reason, over the past 20 years, 30 years, but whatever, NASA said, forget it. We're not doing any more cool stuff. We'll go eat pizzas in New Mexico. And all they've been spending their government money on is building a telescope that supposedly can see in the past. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they show you these pictures like this is what the Earth looked like when it first started. Because we see this through the telescope. They're just making up shit. I mean,
I don't trust morons.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens if you do get that telescope and you send it up to space, if that exists, which it doesn't? If that telescope turns around, you're just gonna fry Earth.
Yeah.
So maybe our problems with not getting rain and all this global warming stuff, maybe you should talk to NASA.
Here's a question. Why don't those people, if they're supposedly sending rovers to Mars, remember they've been talking about rovers forever? We sent a rover there and they send these crappy pictures back of Arizona.
Yeah.
But why didn't they just send a different telescope there to set up? That's like how many light years is Mars away? A million light years away.
Oh, to look back at us?
Well, not even to look back, but to look further out.
Yeah.
You're already eliminating millions of miles that you were having to look through.
Yeah.
Now just put one there and we could see a million miles further.
Well, I know what they would say. A million miles is nothing. It's dropping the ocean.
Yeah. I don't
okay, dude. We get it. I mean, that's fine. Nice pictures of Arizona, by the way.
If there is extraterrestrials, if that exists, and there's been more and more cases where people have tried to be like, yeah, for real,
Sure.
this is a unmanned, whatever, UAV or whatever. Um, Maybe the Rubik's Cube solvers, because there's not many of them in the country or the world even that have ever done it. Maybe that's what the aliens are like looking at. Like you're saved or you're part of the aliens. You can do it.
So if you solved one and then you get like held it up to the heavens, like, yes, finally, then the aliens know that you're one of the smart ones.
Yeah, and they'll keep you alive.
Well, I guarantee you that no one at NASA can figure out one.
No.
Promise you that.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Unless it was
so
an actor, which they all are anyways.
Yeah, so. NASA people, I'm calling you out.
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah, calling you out. Why am I spending my tax dollars on you? What can you do? What have you done for me lately? Like Janet Jackson said. You know?
You know what I was thinking about?
Is there an OnlyFans for NASA? Is there NASA OnlyFans? I don't know. Let's because that'd be the only use for NASA.
I know that
I could see.
There's been movies made about NASA. Tom Hanks was in one.
Tommy?
On Apollo 13.
That boat movie when it was a camping? Oh no, Apollo. That's right.
Yeah,
he did have a space movie.
He did.
He's had a couple, hadn't he?
At least one. He might have done Space Cowboys too, or at least produced it.
Oh, he started with Mork and Mindy.
Yeah. But I was thinking, I think we could make a movie that it would win whatever the prize is for best movie.
Like Sundance?
Right.
Can we win Sundance, whatever that is?
It would win Cannes and Sundance, dude.
Okay. You tell me a plot,
yeah,
and then I'll tell you my plot.
Okay.
What does it have to involve? Space?
No, it's a real life depiction
of someone.
Well, okay, let me just play it out for you.
Cube?
It can be that'll be in there.
Okay.
A middle-aged man doing a Rubik's Cube at a dinner table.
Perfect.
Will be in there. And then just start with that, right?
Okay, I'm starting with that scene. That's a good scene. I don't know if I could top that.
And then at some point, dinner gets over. It's a family putting the dishes up. Kids getting ready for bed. They go to sleep. Good night, love you. What are we doing tomorrow, Dad? Oh, we'll figure it out, buddy. Going to the room. Then having an in-depth conversation with the wife about, I was thinking on our show we could do this, and the wife be like, "Oh, that's cool." Like, and then like the next day it shows the guy like trying to pay bills and maybe working at a real job
and say screw this and just pick up this Rubik's Cube.
Later that night walking into this tiny shed to sit by himself and do a show, what I mean, like, and then thinking that would actually do something, you know what I mean, like, oh,
right.
And then going back in like, I'll try this, and then maybe him listening to shows.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do that. And then going back to his shed. And at the end, everybody involved just kills themselves.
Right. And there's the Rubik's Cube, it's a close-in shot on a Rubik's Cube, and it's solved except for one square. He never got to solve it.
Yeah.
Like a Rubik's Cube.
This is called Disillusion, dude.
Your movie's better than mine. I have to admit
and it would win Sunday.
I'm handing it to you. All mine is an empty chair just floating in space. You know what I mean? And then, it's like 5 minutes and you're like, something's going to happen to this chair. And then you have like a really good voiceover guy. Like, I don't know. Who's a good voiceover guy?
Probably Morgan Freeman would be
okay. Like a Morgan Freeman, that's good. That's probably top.
Yeah,
I probably couldn't afford him, but like Morgan Freeman or Mike Rowe that does the voiceovers for Deadliest Catch, I think, something like that. He's kind of
tired of him though.
Are you?
Yeah, it's like Get Over Yourself.
Yeah, but I think he's cheaper than Morgan Freeman.
Oh, maybe.
I'm kind of going for money here. And I would.
Why don't you fucking weld? Fuck off, dude. Sit there on your stupid fucking Facebook show. You guys could all be you go be a welder, asshole.
Be a welder. Anyway, yeah, no, I mean, he serves a purpose, I guess. He's getting other people to weld.
Well, he's the one that causes the kind of the belief that we could come out here and do something because he did it. That's not true.
That's not true. Yeah, you gotta be on.
We're not gonna do it.
You gotta be on a show. You gotta start your own show or write your own show, or you gotta be, dude. We gotta go back to QVC. Can you imagine us selling products?
What would you?
That's where Mike Rowe started, I think.
Yeah.
QVC.
Most of them did.
Well, we have to first learn opera.
Mm.
Anyway, floating chair. All of a sudden, Morgan Freeman's voice comes out and says, "A chair."
It took 60, 70 years
You
to
know?
tunnel out of this prison.
And so that's basically the whole movie. And I guarantee you,
And
I
good
would
price.
win an episode, or I'd win a season or whatever, Sundance.
Well, I don't know. I just, you know,
I mean, I stole it from.
it's not
I
unique
stole.
to this.
Okay. To this,
No, your idea is fine. It would probably win.
it would go good right
Yeah.
behind yours because everybody's dead. Solve Rubik's Cube, and then if you want to tie them together, that Rubik's Cube, that same Rubik's Cube in the other movie, you know what I mean, your movie,
Yeah.
is floating in next to the chair.
I mean, I guess you could do a movie about the start of almost anything, and it would seem pretty pathetic. You know what I mean? But we have to shoot ours as like, it's been 9 years. You know,
That's a long movie, dude.
it's been 9 years, and there's not just us doing it. I mean, there's people involved. You know, we'll call people and say, "Hey, Friday, we're still gonna get together for the show, right?" And they'll say yes.
Oh yeah, I know. I
Not say like, "Why?"
what show?
Yeah, we'll get together and do
All
a
that stuff was
show.
recorded. Wow, cool.
For what?
I'll go listen.
You know what I mean? I guess you
Yeah.
could do it with like rock stars too. Either be a part where they've been in the garage, like, "Hey, we got a gig down at the Piggly Wiggly tonight." People are like, "Who cares?"
No one does.
Right.
I mean, unless you're out there and I don't know. We gotta start telling people like Mike Rowe's our uncle or something.
We should lie more.
Me, it'd be cousin because I mean we're basically the same age, I guess.
Yeah, he does look good. I seen him
He looks fantastic.
an AIDS commercial
Yeah,
recently.
supports. Yeah, right.
So he's
I
fine.
I show him.
It's just weird.
You got to get on that Shantix.
It's just that
I've been
killed
told that. I don't know if you were there for that. I had a Shantix.
rep.
Well, pretty much. I mean, I had two guys sitting around saying, "Well, I quit smoking for Shantix."
Was this at the trip?
Yeah, and I said, "Well,
Bush Apple.
yeah, how did it work? How did it work for you?" Oh, horrible, horrible. I mean, night terrors.
Well, yeah, dude. It will cause you will kill yourself if you take Shantix.
Yeah, and I said, "Well, why would I want that?" Oh, it's so cool. You wake up and I mean, you really think you're dying in your dream, or horribly, like a demon's crawling out of some sort of orifice, or whatever scares you the most. That'll be in the gym. Why would I do that? I mean, Conrad, it would be climbing down
Into the
in
spider
Random
hill.
Dude Ranch.
Yeah.
That was his night terrors. I don't want to have that. Like, that's no draw for me. And even if it makes me quit smoking,
Right.
dying of a heart attack in your sleep, sometimes that sounds great, but I'm not too ready to go yet, dude.
It's
So
the remember the people that do the
the caucus?
ayahuascas? There's these people that go out to
Oh, sure.
different countries now.
And they eat, and
they eat poop, like poop berries or
whatever
something.
it is, frog,
mashed up poop berries, and then they lay down and poop on each other and throw up and go like, "I seen my other third eye.
I seen God."
Yeah.
Did
my third eye stuff, and then maybe
dude.
Shantix is a third eye.
Shantix is. I mean, it's just that that stuff that they squeeze those frog pimples and they scrape it off and they dry it out. That's what it is, dude. And they just put it in pill form. And for some reason, it makes smoking cigarettes or whatever just taste horrible.
I don't know how.
I think it's all constructed because I mean, there's lots of preservatives.
Yeah,
that doesn't need to be there in our tobacco. So all the big manufacturers put this stuff in there, and then they joined up with like Pfizer or like Johnson & Johnson and said, "Hey, this is how you quit smoking." And all it is it's like you said, it's frog juice that makes you have night sweats, and then it makes cigarettes taste bad. Now, could you do without the Night Sweats, which is a great band, I think.
Yeah, I've seen their
Jimmy Johnson and Night Sweats. Could you do without that and just make cigarettes taste horrible? Absolutely. But they don't do that. There used to be lozenges that make everything taste bad.
Well,
they don't sell those.
I don't even think that cigarettes, when they first made them, were bad for anybody. You know what I mean? They were
No.
fine.
No, all the preservatives.
And Native American people have been smoking nicotine and tobacco, whatever they can smoke,
Yeah.
since we found fire.
Yeah, like
you know,
basil.
it didn't matter. We'd smoke anything.
Rosemary.
And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, people started saying this stuff will kill you.
Yeah.
And it's not true.
Not true. There's people right now have a campfire inside their hut, dude. And,
Yeah.
you know, so they're breathing in all kinds of whatever they're burning, you know,
Yeah.
whether it be cow dung or, you know, tumbleweeds or whatever. And they're breathing and they're fine.
I don't know. I just
life expectancy might not be as
well, yeah, a lot of those
you know,
tribes
but-
only live to 30, but
sure.
they're happy.
It's good 30.
Yeah. They're
That's
happy.
that's a good 30. You know where you're at,
And they're
you know what
free.
you got to do. They're free, and all they got to do is go to, you know, go fetch water and find something to eat.
It's different life, man.
That's pretty much what we're all doing. It's just that
We add all this other
we
other
add all
stuff.
this other stuff.
That's what I'm saying. We're doing the show and we've done it for 10 years.
Yeah.
But there's
But
like
hey, you know what? We have eaten and drinking
yeah,
stuff
it's
in that
just
10 years.
You know, I get how if you were to explain to somebody that doesn't do it.
Yeah, that you've been doing something for 10 years and they're saying, why do you still do this?
Right. But even
Is
when
that your living?
tell them what it is, they'd be like, why?
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, maybe that's the reason
to keep doing it.
Well, like people will look at somebody like whoever, pick
George Brett,
Jordan Peterson, pick a guy.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Pick a guy that's done it, right? And it's like, man, it would be so easy to sit there and have a conversation. That's what this guy does for a living. He sits there and he talks to his microphone about thoughts and ideas that he has, and he makes a living doing this, right? And they say that, but then if you explain the flip side, well, in order to do that, you're going to have to spend a lot of times where you, as a grown-up, go to a room and talk for an hour about all these things you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And then at the end, nobody will listen. And then you do it again and again and again, and you keep doing it. And maybe it works.
Yeah. Well,
but it probably won't.
I think you've picked kind of a bad
comparison guy.
Yeah, I think your comparison's bad because you have to pick someone that started. How do I say this? No one would know about Peterson,
right,
at all. All he wanted to do was be a professor. That's all he wanted to do.
Yeah,
and he wanted to be left alone, and he wanted to get students, and they sit down, and he wanted to teach them. And then one day something happened, and he said, and he just spoke out about it, but like a whole group pushed him into the light, saying, okay, well, you got this opinion that is wrong,
right?
So why are you doing that?
Well, he was already kind of, you're right, he had a following anyway.
No,
he did with his academic career.
Yeah, when he was talking about the Bible, it had everything to do with university work. So me in a different country would have never heard of this dude, had someone that disagreed with them put their camera phone up, and then it blew up because the media had nothing to talk about because they didn't want to talk about all the wars and everything else. And so they pushed him to the limelight, and then he said, okay, well, then they wanted to ask him why he thought that way. And because he's a professor, he stated his opinion very articulately, whether you agreed with not, and then he got famous, and now he's making trillions of dollars, and then he started writing books. Which he wanted to do anyway. Maybe he already wrote a book.
Probably already had books.
But here's the deal: no one bought him unless it was a student that wanted to like kiss his butt, and that took classes for him. And we would have never heard of the dude had someone that disagreed with him just put a camera phone, and then the media said, "Oh, this is great. This guy's opinion sucks, so we're going to get him on." And then what they didn't remember is this guy spent 20 years as a professor.
Yeah.
So maybe it is a good comparison because you've spent the last 10 years perfecting your craft,
right?
Even though no one knows it. So if someone wants to talk to you now, guess what'll happen? You can way better than the normal person articulate what you've been doing for the last 10 years. Or you can't, but you'd have proof of what you've done because it's all recorded and documented.
Yeah, it is, unfortunately. Sometimes it's like, maybe you should do it without ever, you don't ever record it. You just sit out there and do it every day.
Right. Would it?
And then 10 years goes by, 15 years goes by, and that's when you hit record. You know what I mean? And it's like, wow, this is good. You know what I mean? They must have been practicing. This is their first show. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. Well, that's not normally what happens. Everybody
no,
that has a craft, whatever it is, I mean, no one wants you to go play the first thing when they were playing guitar and someone has their camera phone out because
Mhm.
that's horrible.
Yeah.
If they stuck with it. So 10 years later, they're
Closing time.
Everybody
It's really good, guys.
something every time. Yeah, yeah, it's really good. And you could say, well, you wasn't that bad. And you in your head, you're like, well, yeah, it sucks. But it's not where you started, really. It's where you've gotten to. And what I'm saying is
Closing time.
pick somebody that is completely unknown,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden they're known. I mean, I suppose Jordan fits that, but that was such a freak accident how the world,
Oh yeah,
because all he was doing was like, this is my opinion, and someone taped him and like, oh, I
right.
hate your opinion, and then he got blown up.
Yeah. And then he did a video to respond to it, which everybody's looking for him now. So they
For
find the
sure, then
video.
they find the video. I mean, all it takes is him getting thrown into the spotlight, and then all he has to do is continue what he was doing, maybe add some more or write another book, or he still was teaching.
Yeah.
So he was still doing his class. So he had the money, but then all of a sudden he almost had to quit that for a little bit to go on all the tours, talk shows.
Oh, I seen him on Kelly Clarkson. Yeah, and that's a long day. That's a long travel day. So you can't teach and be on Kelly Clarkson.
No.
Hey, buddy. Are you guys going to your buddies? No.
I have someone over there. They said in like 2 hours.
2 hours. 4 hours.
Because I like 2. That was I like 2 or 3.
Hmm. Well, that sounds awful. So now what are you gonna do? Well, you have to go in there and figure something out, bud. We'll be in a second. Finish the show. Okay.
How review
I don't know.
doesn't show.
No, it doesn't show.
Not like on the phones. It shows.
The time.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should have probably done that, but we don't know what we're doing, so
Just play around with it.
yeah. All right. I'll be in a little bit, Bob. Gene. Louise. Cook me some lunch.
I'll probably just go eat something.
Okay. Save me some.
Be a lot. There is a lot.
School's out, bud. You know?
Yeah, school's out for summer.
So you gotta add that to it.
Yeah.
To buy something like I need to buy like a VR or something that's so compelling that a kid can wear 24/7.
Yeah. Well,
You know.
I guess to speak to your problem, I think a lot of people have thought about that and how to if they're trying to engineer them to propel them to some sort of following or something.
Mhm.
You got all these people that said that they're what do they call them? Where
Like
they're
influencers.
yeah, the influencers.
Yeah.
And I never understood it, but it's a thing. Normally it's some sort of attractive female that gets more because there's a bunch of guys that will follow pretty much anything that's
a good looking woman.
a good looking woman just to, I guess, just to see their different costumes, what they're wearing every day or whatever. And that's all it is. It's if you talk to them, it's like, no, they actually care about what cereal I'm eating now. And no, they don't, that's the truth. And I suppose there's a lot of people that kind of, they work hard at it and they take it serious and whatever it's usually an opposed view to the popular view, they get more recognition. So, I think that's I can count a lot that all they did was go against the grain and they had a good take on it. And they are actually talking what they really believe. And there's a group of people out there that do believe that. And then that's a following. I mean, but there's a lot of stuff that's like, no, that doesn't work. Whether somebody's rich is just propping somebody up,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just money. And then you see them and you don't understand. Case in point, this is perfect. This is a perfect thing to talk about. I turned on a British baking show. It's on Netflix. You can check it out. I can't understand a word they say. It says because they're British.
Yeah.
And they're not speaking my language. So it's cool to see the kind of cakes they come up with. And
Right. And a lot of that stuff
I wouldn't eat. It's horrible.
No. It's kind of like those hairstyles you've seen in Louisiana.
For sure.
And build a cake on a person's head down there.
There's really no reason to watch it because you can't understand a word. I mean, if you speak that kind of language, I read Now, if you would to record that, slow it down, whatever, and then like do some disco hits behind it, you might have something. And I thought about that too.
Yeah.
But why do people watch it? I don't know. I don't know of anybody that cooks their own food. I mean, really on the regular, other than me and you and maybe Eric, maybe Zach, my close.
Well, poor people do.
Poor people
usually
cook their own stuff.
Yeah.
But why these people in Great Britain break and why do people watch it? I got no clue, man.
Yeah, I don't know either, bud. No, it is just the thought of and it doesn't matter. It's just that it all makes sense when you see Jordan Peterson. It all makes sense when you see any of these guys that are.
Does it though?
No, I mean, as far as if somebody's like, this is Jordan Peterson, he does a show on the internet and be like, oh, I've heard of you. And then it's like, that makes sense. But if you were to go to us and be like, you guys do that, it doesn't make sense to people because why? Nobody knows who you guys are. Why would you even do that? Why would you? You're never gonna do anything,
right?
And then it's just all the movie scenes of us coming up with ways to get people to know what we're doing. Coming up with, like, if that was in the movie, people would be like, God, they're gonna try that. You know what I mean? They're gonna try to do it that way.
Yeah.
They're gonna then whatever angle we've in 10 years, there's been lots of angles that we've attacked.
Well, we haven't tried the movie thing yet. Should
shoot a movie? But even that we've had ideas.
Should we shoot a documentary movie?
It's just maybe
Can we have costumes and makeup?
Well, we should. Yeah, if it's a movie, we'll have.
But here's the deal. This is I'm gonna give you a little secret that breaks everything open. All it is let's say you hit a scratcher today for $1 million.
Yeah,
we know what we're gonna do.
Buy a yacht.
Nope.
Put it on Random Dude Ranch.
Not yet. That's when we get profit from the thing that we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
So it would be just the estate sale. And what would we do? We would hire people because we have the money.
Yeah.
We'd hire people to run cameras. We'd hire people to do makeup. We'd hire people to do. Now, just by doing that, everybody's interested. Everybody wants to be a part of it. Everybody, because they see a camera. They see this $high camera and they see people doing makeup and they see those stupid chairs are completely uncomfortable. You know what I mean? That the high backs with, oh yeah. You got your name in the back, whatever it is. It could be your character name or your real name. It doesn't matter. You could put Saskatchewan back. Yeah. It could be a place, but you're sitting in it and someone's like combing your beard and putting a little rouge, on your face. And because that's their job, not that you need it. It doesn't do anything. And someone's, then you go in there and you do a scene and you're like, oh, you have lots of outcuts and bloopers and stuff. And then everybody sees that and you post one little thing and you put the like behind scenes of this thing that's going on. Everybody wants to be a part of it. Because, and that's proof of the pudding because all I did, no one knows about us. No one has any idea that this is a thing. I put out, I want to promote your business. Million people. Will they ever listen? No. Will they share the interview that they're on this show to everybody else? Yes.
Yeah.
They will. And that doesn't make those people want to check out the show. What it makes them want to do is push play to hear the interview that we're doing for them.
Right.
And it's going to be the people that already know about their business.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully other people enjoy it because it's funny or maybe they want to see an attractive lady up there in the corner, or, I don't know. I don't know why they would click on it. I have no idea other than, Sherry was on there talking about her dog grooming business, or, Taylor was on there talking about, the Brazilian wax that she does. By the way, we have one of those. Somebody, I can't remember her name, wants to talk about making candy, and all is it's informative. And if you listen to it, you're like, wow, I didn't know that existed.
Right.
And I didn't know where that was. So you can gain information from it, and maybe we're funny, and you're like, oh, those guys are funny, and maybe they take the time to check out Con Radio and all the other podcasting we've done, and maybe they sign up and see 500 million episodes from the last 10 years. That's a lot of maybes. But I do know one thing for sure: if you act like it is something, then people get interested.
Yeah.
And when we're locked in a cabin or a dark studio that we always make for ourselves, no matter where we're at, no one knows we're even in here except for maybe your neighbor, and they just think we're in here
jerking off.
Yeah, doing weird stuff.
Yeah.
And so when we were out and about, we've done a couple live shows that got people involved. Now, did that make them want to sign up to the podcast? No, really, all it wanted to make them do, can you do this every week?
Yeah.
Come back and make me money and entertain these people. And I think that's the stand-up. That's the stand-up thing.
Yeah.
So that's why stand-ups do it. And then they're like, hey, can you write for my show? Sure, because someone's writing for a show and they're getting paid to write for a show.
Right.
So that's like the camera and the makeup people and the high back chairs. Something's going on, whether it's good or not, it doesn't matter. Something's going on that I'm getting paid for to write on.
Well, it's true that's the biggest obstacle, is that you can't have anything. You got to be out there with it so people know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But the problem is that's
not what we do.
Right. You're doing something that's opposite of that.
Correct.
And so it's really
there is no way of a podcast
shutting
yourself in and then attracting people because we got big cameras. There's none of that. They're not going to click on here because of this sweet artwork. This is sweet artwork.
Right.
And there's two goofy dudes. Now, you replace both of us with our wives from here up,
right,
where they're showing lots of cleavage and they're talking about sex. You got millions of people watching.
Yeah.
No one's looking at this ugly face and be like, I want to see that every week. I want to see that every day.
No.
No one's doing that.
Mm-mm.
So you have to be an angle to the dangle or real funny to make you want to come back and listen. There's people out there that know the struggle and they don't have any idea. They don't know what breaks us. They don't understand why people aren't listening to us, because we have a weird sense of comedy, or we have a good rapport with each other. We've been around each other. So you could say there's a Netflix special where two dudes get up there and it's all improv. And
are you talking about Flight of the Conchords?
No. This is a new one. It's two different guys I've never seen before. I guess they're stand-up comedians, and they get on there and they ask the audience to come up with something, and then they act it out and they try to be funny. It's not
right.
Put us in that situation, but we're unknown. We're not stand-up comics.
No,
we just get behind a microphone and try to make people laugh.
We're sit-down comics.
We are sit-down comics,
and maybe that's a lot of it. Maybe we should have been.
And people say sit-down comics doesn't exist. All you guys do is a podcast.
Yeah.
What do you mean all we do?
Well, that's all it is until it's
something.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I've been selected for a custom wedge set from the golf cabal.
Hold on, I got a ding on my phone.
Yeah, you dinged. Did you get a driver?
Let's do that Wednesday next week. Libby?
Maybe.
Libby,
we don't know.
I already have it down. I just can't change. I'll have to get back with you.
Yeah, we'll just have to get back with her. No, I'm not. It's not frustration. It
is.
No, it is.
I am. I mean,
bit,
it is.
But it's also. It's not really that. It's more of. It's just hilarious. I mean, to me, it's hilarious that it doesn't make sense. It can never make sense until it happens. You can't convince somebody that having 4,700 thoughts written down on notes, for the past however long they've been, recording those on my phone and sending them to the CIA.
Yeah.
You can't convince somebody that those notes mean something.
Right.
Because they didn't mean anything. I mean, a lot of them I thought were really great. And I might have even vocalized them in a really great way. And we all had fun if we were together on them or alone. What doesn't matter. But then I almost look at them like they're gone. Well, that's done. Now try to find a new thought, find a new angle on all that stuff. And you can tell people, and you'll see them in real life. So you'll go to a party or you'll go to a family function or you'll go to something and sit around and you can make those people laugh with some of those notes because they haven't heard your show. So we'll be sitting around talking. Like if we're sitting with LT, I haven't seen him forever, can make him cry laughing. You know what I mean? And all that stuff. Then you'd be like, well, we're going to go back and do the show. It's like, oh, there you go. It's like, what do I do now? Clearly that there's something. You guys just laughed, but it's not there yet. The only time it will happen is the rest of the world will catch up and say, I like these guys. And it'll happen, right? All the people that we tried to do around here will then be, hey guys, I can't believe I saw you last night. You were on something that actually they watch. Did you guys just do an interview with, Anderson Cooper in his sauna?
Pierce Morgan?
You guys in Tucker Carlson's sauna last night?
Yeah, we was.
And they're gonna be like, I seen that.
Do you have pictures?
Your show is really taking off.
Wow.
I'm gonna subscribe. And like,
no. But they won't.
I think that's when they do. It's when everybody else,
so.
Even though we were the ones sitting in front of them saying,
I don't
we're doing this.
Yeah, I don't.
Then they will.
I don't think so. It's much like the flip flop. It's the flip flop. You grew up with, you didn't grow up.
Some people will hate
actually, you grew up and you were around someone that did make it, and you haven't subscribed or followed or them. So it goes both ways. You grew up with this person, they made it, and it's still like, well, there you go.
Yeah, but I've done the minimum to make sure that he had my support.
No. I'm not saying you didn't do anything. You didn't buy a T-shirt. You bought a T-shirt.
Yeah.
You might have bought an album. You did something to support him, but you're not at every show. I mean, you're not in his chat group.
But
you're
there
not,
are
you're
a
not
lot
on,
of
you're not on
people-
his podcast. So and that's somebody that's really made it. Like they actually, really made it. And I'm putting quotations. I'm doing the air quotes that everybody hates, but because what do you mean really made it? Just somebody that an agent said that was good, and you got to open for someone bigger, and then other people open for you, and you sold out concerts. That's really made it. Like,
well, I think I don't know.
And then
I
people
think
that know about you, they're like, oh, I've heard of them, hey, I grew up with them. It's kind of like, wow, you grew up with that person. Let me ask you more, and there's some super fans, obviously, because he made it, I guess. But really, there's not. He's got the same thing. It's kind of like, but his deal is, I've got 50,000 huge fans,
right,
and that's enough to live on.
Yeah,
ours is we've got 5.
Right.
So it's just a numbers game, and it's actually pretty sad to me that he made it. He had to go to Nashville. He had to go through all that BS. He had to find the right thing, and he'll even admit, I'm sure, I don't know him, I've never met him,
right,
that he'll sure I got super lucky. I wrote this song, people liked it, and I got picked up, and it was in something, it was in a movie or something. It was on Stranger Things, and then I blew up for a little bit. I went on tour. I did this thing. People started following me. Now I got 50,000 fans that pay my bills every day.
Yeah, because
I got pushed to the limelight because of this thing. So it's all luck. What am I doing now? I'm thinking about touring. I go out and play a couple shows, and I make enough money to support my family, and that's all I need. I do a podcast now.
Right.
Talking about the ride.
Yeah, but there's no ending
to that
for anybody, really. You know what I'm saying? That's what's so funny about life is the only ending is you die, right?
Yeah,
but there's no ending. The fact that the Rolling Stones are still playing should prove that there's no ending. It doesn't matter how much you sell, how big you are.
Yeah.
They're not going to stop. Like, what else do we do? What do you do? What are you going to stop and do? What?
Right.
And it's and they're still playing the same crap that they played in the 70s, and that's what people want to hear, which would be maddening after 40 years of playing the same
same stuff. Yeah. Well, that's why their drummer died.
It would put a lot of, but it's still better than the alternative. So it's like we still got to go out and do this. This is what we love to do.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I think there is no other alternative. What are you gonna do? Quit and join another band? I mean,
There's no alternative.
It's the same thing. You know,
Yeah.
you're still playing. You're playing maybe somebody else's music, but it's the same.
So it's so funny though that
Same
if you
thing.
really like it, or if it was somebody like Uncle Bill, where you played music your whole life,
Yep.
You've been on albums, you've had chances maybe to be,
Sure.
you know, and maybe you didn't take them, or maybe didn't work out, or
maybe you
whatever.
didn't have any chance. I mean, maybe you thought there was a chance, but there was really
But it
nothing
never
there.
panned out to the where everybody knows your talent, right?
Well, but
certain people know, but not everybody. But
may-
also you spent your whole life doing it.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between Bill and Mick Jagger? There is no difference.
Yeah.
You know, you could say, well, this everybody in the world, who gives a crap? They both did exactly what they wanted to do
Right.
the whole time.
Right.
And, you know, the funny thing is the validation always comes from the outside, not the inside of things, which is weird because it's a joke if nobody ever listens. But once everybody listens, now none of it was ever a joke. You know what I mean? As far as you and I,
Sure.
It's a joke that Bill, you'll get a better job. Bill, you can do it. You got a better house than this. You don't have to drive that car. You can say,
Sure.
I'm fine though.
Yeah,
And I get to do what I want.
Yeah.
And I get to drive around and play music with these people that I like to play music with.
Yeah.
And I make enough money to do that.
And I get to decide where I play
Yeah.
and when I play and for how long I play and everything.
So there's, yeah, but you're never gonna.
Who cares?
Have I made it? Then haven't you made it?
Yeah.
You know, so it's weird. It's just a strange thing that everything can be considered, because it's like, what bar are you using it? And it's always judged by an outside person with their own bar.
Yeah.
Same thing with Logan. There's a lot of people in that town that follow him because he was from the town that don't even know him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, that just I know. Yeah, he went to my school.
Yeah, I went to my school. I graduated.
And become
but you never
huge
talked to
fans.
him. Yeah, you never talked to him. You never was in a class with them. You never worked with them.
And I could think he's successful for. It was great that his first album, a lot of those songs he wrote. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's cool that you made it with whatever reason. I thought it was great.
Right.
Everybody has their own little reasons, but if he was just playing like he used to, drunk in a field with everybody at parties,
no one
would care.
No one paid
Like,
attention.
Logan's playing the guitar again.
Yeah, or they would go off, to get another 6-pack. Is like, there's always one of these guys at the party that brings their acoustic guitar and think they can play.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then they made it, and all of a sudden, that joke that one time they made is, I hope everybody forgot that because I'm a super fan now.
Yeah, right.
But why? He was playing the exact same thing out there in the field live for you.
Yeah.
And 5 other people. And now all of a sudden he's on a stage. See, that's what I'm saying.
But it's the outside validating.
It's the production, and it is the outside stuff.
Yeah.
So if I didn't know him,
right,
and you invited me to a country concert, I wouldn't go. But let's say you drugged me to a country concert, and he opened, and I liked his music, or if I knew him back in high school, oh my God, I know that guy.
Yeah.
And now he's on a stage, and he's opening for Luke Combs. What's the difference? The difference is the stage, and he's opening for it's presentation. It's all BS. If we want $1 billion or $1 million, it didn't even matter. A small amount of money, and there was somebody with a camera right there, and we were doing it in a park. Newspapers like, what are you doing? Why is the cameras here?
Yeah.
What news are you with? We're not from news. We're doing a documentary. Now it's like, what's it about? Is there any, now it'd be all over. Now the whole town would know about it. Then it would go from there. Now people in Oklahoma City would know about it because, it's like, oh, there's something going on. You know what I mean? And it could be all BS. It's like, yeah, well, we're doing a documentary about Willie Nelson. He spent a lot of time here in Prague.
Yeah.
Did he?
Well, and I think that's
he's going to be here later.
What we're leaning into with reaching out to all these people is that's why that was the idea, is you got to show them what you're doing. And then people will care because nobody's doing anything.
Yeah.
And then the people that mock it, or the people that, think that anybody can do it.
Sure.
You're right.
They can.
But you don't. The same thing as with a food truck or cutting grass. It's like, I could do that. I mow my grass really good.
Yep.
You can.
You can. Go do it.
And then once you start and you have a sign on the side of your truck, people will call you.
They will.
And they'll try you out. And once you have a sign on your trailer that says tacos or tater tots.
I'm extremely surprised on some of these things that I joined, and you see when they started.
Yeah.
So it's like 2016, 2017, light turns on, and like no one from then is as big as podcasting and everything else has been. No one has reached out to anybody on these sites to do something for them other than them just posting. They're in an echo chamber much like we are.
And that's
They're
what we
just-
did.
they're
We would
just throwing
throw
their
our stuff
out there,
and then
it
nobody's
gets
going to
lost
care.
in the shuffle. No one
No,
cares.
that's why you have to go the other way and try to do something for others for no money, and then hope
Maybe
that it spreads.
it's a stupid idea, but we're going to try every angle and every idea. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, all ideas from here on out are going to be pretty kooky,
I think
especially the airplane one. That was really, on paper, it looks good.
yeah. While wearing a vest
I know.
and taking down an airplane,
Yeah,
it got a lot of attention.
got a lot of attention.
You know what I mean?
You know, but the 30 years in jail wasn't so good. But you know, you can still do
Rehab.
podcasts and rehab
It is
in
a better
jail.
story.
for sure. Get more attention. It's physical attention
Mhm.
in jail, but you know, it's really no difference, really.
No,
Attention.
and your kid's gone. My kids are about grown up, so going to
Oh
jail's
yeah,
not a
he
big
was like
deal.
6 foot. I didn't know
Yeah.
who that. I didn't really recognize him when he came through the door
Yeah.
earlier.
So
So that's over.
that's over.
Good parenting. You know,
Thanks, man.
good job.
Yep.
Show your kid how to do a Rubik's cube.
And he'll hate. You know, that's one thing he'll go to therapy for.
Everybody thinks that their kids. Yeah, I don't know. Mine too. Everybody thinks that, but you know, you get to that age, or you get older as my no one, they don't. It's like everything. It's like world. You go into the I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Oh, that sounds great. Not a thought.
I don't know. It's just weird. It's a weird thought that I think it could be a great documentary or a great movie, you know, because it's relatable to everyone that's tried to do anything, even if you just tried to make belts, make a leather shop, and you wanted
Yeah.
to make custom belts, you know, and you told somebody about it, which is a mistake.
Yeah.
Because you told somebody that knows you,
Right.
and they go, "What are you talking? Yeah, I've seen your belt. I know you like to do it, but who cares?"
Well, we're doing it wrong right off the bat because we don't have a niche. You know, everybody says that, and it is true because I watched a little clip that came up on you know, while clicking around last night,
Mhm.
where a guy was on Conan, the Conan, back when Conan had a show. I mean, he still does, but I
No,
can't find
It's
it.
on
I don't know. It's too
TBS,
hard.
dude. I think it's a Nazi ring.
Yeah, it's something. It's Nazi run. He had a clip of a dude that just made paper airplanes. The guy was 50.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do for a living? I make paper airplanes.
But we see it all the time. Like the guy at
I mean,
the rodeo
stupid.
makes
What-
the last. I mean, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah, there's
I-
plenty. I can get on Amazon, like, but you just do it, and
Right.
people will buy it
Well, especially
because they
if that's-
know.
if that's all you do.
Right.
But that comedy is such a wide variety. I mean, it's not a niche, but it is.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? If you get our kind of humor, I suppose, then you're like, oh, those guys are pretty quick-witted, and they're dry sense of humor, and they say crazy things, and I catch on, and you know, great. So it is a niche, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's a very wide thing. It's kind of like when I was doing a paper in a 400 level college course about military history. When I picked that I was going to do a fighter plane, you know, I'm going to do everything about a Messerschmitt in World War II.
Yeah.
He's like, And I said, why? He says, they ain't focused enough. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's just one plane in a war.
Right.
He
It's-
said, no, you got to do the propulsion system or the guns that are on it, or a gun on that war platform. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, he said, yeah, if you try to do a Messerschmitt, you know, the history and everything you have to do to build that kind of complex war platform, you're writing a book. And there's books that's been written
just on one
about,
plane. Yeah.
about less.
Right.
I'm just asking for a term paper.
Yeah.
A term paper, you know what I mean? I'm not asking for a book. To actually tell you everything about that, you're going to have to write me a huge volume.
Mm.
So you got to pick a round that was shot through that one of their guns. You have to tell me about the rubber in the landing gear tire, or you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was so
And then it's like
specific.
Yeah.
Then it's
There
like
was a farmer in Indiana who developed a rubber grommet that would work on his combine, and then you know one of his friends joined the military, and when this broke, he thought that would be that grommet that Eddie made would be a great thing.
would be a
and then
great thing.
Got a meeting with the
But what I'm saying is, when you're thinking about it the very first, you don't think that's big enough to write a 45-page term paper.
Yeah, double space.
How in the heck can I do that?
Right.
Come to find out, you can. I
Yeah,
mean, you could.
pretty
I mean,
easy.
you can keep on going. For 80 pages
Mhm.
on a stupid tire on one. One plane that was involved in World War II. So I understand. I lived it. I understand what you say about niche
Right.
concept, but how far do you have to go down? I mean, comedy is pretty wide open, and it also is subjective, or not subjective. I mean,
It's subjective.
it's subjective to if you like it or not.
Yeah, a lot of people don't find animal husbandry funny.
No,
But I do, but
Right.
I don't do a show on it
Yeah.
because I get it that's pretty limited.
that's true. I mean, if we did a comedy show about hermits, just
The
hermits, crabs or people,
anything hermit related,
anything hermit related,
hermits.
we could do it,
Yeah.
and we could do it for months on end. I don't know of any. You might be out there, and you might be like, hermits are hilarious,
They are hilarious.
and they are.
The crab. I
Guess
don't
what?
know
But
about the
we do more than that, dude. We do the whole plane.
sorry, professor, dude.
Yeah, sorry, professor, dude.
We do the whole plane.
We
man.
wrote a 10-year book. You can read it here or not.
Well, and I guess you also notice that it's similar in the sense that all these people that just take Mick Jagger or the Rolling, it doesn't matter. Pick anybody that's made it in music, right?
Yeah.
There's other projects lots of times that they've worked on that
Tons.
nobody's ever heard. I mean,
Tons.
even after they broke.
Yeah.
And they maybe joined with a super group and do some songs. And people will be like, I don't even like that group.
Hate it.
Even though the guy that they love,
Sure.
huge Rolling Stones fan,
Right.
I hate that group.
Yeah.
It's it's the
Well, okay.
Beatles playing for them and then them breaking off to do solo stuff and people not liking.
Right. Or Kiss.
Or yeah. And
It's like the band, they all broke up. And then the
then
hardcore fans, we're talking about 50,000 people own every record that was on their solo stuff.
right.
You go back to the Rolling Stones. Now we're getting
But
music
Meatloaf,
history,
Meatloaf did
you
an
know?
album before he died. Nobody's listened to
No
it.
one has any idea.
And he's the biggest act ever during 2-year period, probably, right? He's the Meatloaf. And then he writes albums for the next 30 years that nobody listens to.
yeah, but he also acted.
Yeah, one of the most celebrated thespians of our time, and one of the greatest performers of 2-year period. I mean, as far as nationally acclaimed, you won album of all that stuff. Yet you still continue to make music for the remainder of your life
Yeah,
that
'cause you loved
nobody
it.
listens to.
That no one listened to. Yeah. Well,
That's crazy.
That's
dude.
the loaf.
That's
dude.
that's nuts.
Because
You did make a fan base.
You brought up Rolling
You
Stones.
still ruined it.
Yeah. Well, he didn't ruin it. I mean,
I
he
mean, it's
made a
like it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because he makes enough money to be able to do what he loves to do. And that's the big decision on people that are quote unquote unknown. Where is the horse and where is the cart? And either way you do it, will it help? I mean, we can go start a business right now, make $1 million in 3 years, and then spend it all on doing this. It still might not work. And that's putting money horse before cart.
Yeah.
And then if you want to just keep doing it and, keep doing it, different ideas, don't make $1 million and don't go the traditional way of throwing money at the problem, which is the traditional way.
Yeah.
Then you just keep doing it. And whoever maybe it catches, and maybe someone finds out you've done it how long? This is crazy. How many episodes do you have? All of these.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
I don't know.
And I don't know that answer.
Oh, I don't. The universe knows it, but
No.
and NASA knows it.
I don't think it happened. I don't
It's
think
in
it
the Rubik's
happens.
Cube, bud.
It happens either way, and it's 50. It's a coin flip. We could spend $1 million on a documentary and people get interested for a year, and then all of a sudden, they don't join the podcast. So we've wasted $1 million and we have a documentary that no one watched. So that could happen.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that's kind of how, it's much like this. You show interest in other people, people flock to you. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean they are interested in the podcast or what we're doing? No, I don't think so. I think they're interested in us doing it, and it's something else that they can use as promotion stuff for their stuff, which is great. And that's good for them.
Right.
Am I going to get a free Brazilian wax out of the deal? Probably not.
I hope so.
Would you?
I would do that probably just for the story.
I'd film it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be in the room. I just set a camera on.
Well, we've seen plenty of those. videos. I know what entails Brazilian wax.
Yeah.
A lot of that. It's on YouTube if you guys want to check it out.
We know a lot about it throughout the years.
Yeah,
and that's
going to be a good interview because we know so much about
interview because we know something about it. Candy making. I don't know. I mean, I have lots of questions about.
I just need a big oven,
and what kind of oven you're rocking, and
yeah.
Other than that, I mean, it's going to be kind of a. I don't know who else does stuff. I got a window cleaning business. That's going to be interesting. How right? How far up do you go?
Yeah. Do you do residential or commercial? Have you ever looked in there and seen like a woman changing and you were out there cleaning their window?
And we got design wraps. I think that's for the cars. The wraps.
Yeah, I got some.
But maybe for that. I don't know what it's for. The candy shop. You want to guess what it's called?
Yeah. What is it? I don't know. I have no idea.
It's a really good name. I really wanted. I was hoping she would do an interview with us. Mollycoddled, which we all know our favorite person. That's all he would say. Don Knox.
Yeah.
I ain't no mollycoddled. Right.
Yeah.
So it's mollycoddled hash slinger, and I thought, well, she sells
drugs.
Yeah, I saw. No, it's all candy. It's all, and now maybe that's what they used to call treats.
Yeah,
go give me some hash.
I've never heard that before.
I've heard hash browns.
Yep. I just think of the drug.
So we'll have to ask her about that. That's a good question.
Drug related.
See that? How about this name? You ready for this one?
Yeah.
This is a boutique. So I don't know if it's like Paul's Boutique from Beastie Boys, like where you can get some clothing, or if it's a flower boutique.
Could be.
But it's named TNA Pokies. So good name.
That is Stillwater,
like
probably. That. Tits and ass.
That's what I thought. I don't think it stands for that. It's probably Tom's and Angelina.
Tom and Angie. Yeah.
Angie, because her name's Angel. So it's probably Tom and Angel's Pokies Boutique.
So just like old Oklahoma State.
I think it stands out because that's my brain went exactly where your brain went. And I think most people do that. Brandy cakes.
I had one this morning, dude.
Like cakes. That's why I started watching the British Bake Off.
Wake up, put in a George Harrison, dude.
We do have a comedian coming on. Yeah, it's a stand-up comedian who is also a music director, songwriter, composer, pianist.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
He does all year's promos, which is I think he just does promotions for either your music or something. His name's Brandon. I don't know if he's related to the main one, but I don't know. He was a nice guy. He was a comedian. A lot of these people have podcasts.
Oh yeah,
and they're also comedians. So that's nice.
We'll see how that goes. We got one today. Jenny Sykes will be on today.
Who? Oh, is she a comedian?
She's a comedian in LA. So we'll have to.
Oh, she's in LA.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice. So she's, she lives that life. We'll have to figure out.
I got one person from out. I don't know why they are on the site, but I do have somebody from Colorado.
Right. And I don't know anything about LA.
They're doing business in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
They live in Colorado. I don't know.
So I'll show you her stand up here in a minute when we get off here, and you can at least be familiar with that. I don't, we don't know what she wants to promote. I imagine just her social media.
Hopefully it's some sort of comedy special. She's got on Netflix or something.
And she's got some. So, we have some people that do live in California that subscribe to the Patreon.
Sure.
So, I mean, she'll be in the area and you'll see if you like her or not. But, and even if you don't, you could just go to her show and be like, hey, I heard you on the Con Radio.
That'd be nice.
She'd be like, really?
Yeah.
Those idiots
from somewhere in Oklahoma. Wow.
Yeah. So that would be funny. So we're going to interview her later today. I probably will release that on Friday is the plan.
Sure.
As some sort of special thing or an evening guest interview thing.
If it's good, I might put it out on some of the stuff just to show people, because there's a lot of people
that are curious
just curious how it would go and what it looks like and what it sounds like. So if it's good, then I'll release it. If not, I'll wait until next week where we've got plenty.
I think so. So we'll work on our movie.
Any ideas?
Yeah.
Anybody's got a good chair out there? Just take a picture of it. We might use it.
Yeah, we would want to have the rights to you. We can't steal the stuff off the internet.
True.
So it's got to be original.
You got to sign the waiver form. Sorry.
And we're gonna see how this stuff goes with these people. We'll see. you'll get to see with us. So
I'm gonna eat some ramen noodle with
Yeah.
with Jonah. So
all right. With that being said,
hey, have an okay day.